All right, shout out to Jude for putting on this amazing event, the Black Money Forum in Brooklyn, New York. We have the legendary Angela Yee. I know you've been successful in the media space, so how could people become successful when it comes to media?
With media, I would say take every opportunity that you can get. And I think that was something that was valuable for me when I first started. They told me any chance you have to be on the air. I was doing, a ton of interviews and networking at a lot of different events. And networking, I would say, is the next thing that is really important because it is networking. And so you do have to go out and show up and, mingle, meet people, but follow up. After that as well, and make sure you stand out and put your best foot forward at all times. And then I think not being complacent. Sometimes you can get stuck in a rut and feel like that's just it. But a lot of times we have really good ideas. We have things that we want to pursue, and we really have to go for it. Because I really feel like the difference between people who are successful and the people who are not as successful is action.
Now you've been diversifying. You got your juice bar and things like that. So could you tell people why you did that and why you didn't just stay in the media space? Because a lot of times people become successful in one lane and then they just try to stay in their lane. But you've been diversifying. You got different real estate properties in Detroit. I heard one of your interviews. I'm from Detroit actually, so I heard that interview. That was pretty dope. So why is diversifying important in terms of building wealth?
I feel like you have to. If anything we learned from the pandemic, it's having all your eggs in one basket is never a good idea. Because you never know what can happen, so you have to be prepared. And part of that is saying, this might not be working over here, but at least this is working over here, because usually it's not everything in conjunction with each other. And so even during the pandemic, while we couldn't go out and do appearances and things like that, the juice bar was open the whole entire time because it was something that was essential, and it definitely benefited and helped people. And so I think for myself, it's just also doing things that I care about and that's important to me. And it's nice to get to the space where you can, when I was younger, I did a lot of things to make money. I was like, okay, I got to work these extra hours, do this job that I may not be enthusiastic about. But when you get to a certain point, you just have to look forward to the fact that at some point I'll be able to say no to things I don't want to do anymore and, open businesses and start things that matter to me.
All right, so the last question for you, how important is it when you're in the media space working for free? Because a lot of times people, they don't want to. They want to charge their worth, right? And it's one of those things to where it's a weird balance between knowing when to take the opportunity for free and knowing your worth when you're negotiating different salaries and projects.
I mean, I think it depends on what it is. I didn't get paid today, but I'm here. And that's because this was something that was important to me. And so I think if you're establishing relationships with people, I think if it's something that you feel like is good for your profile, then you should do it. I always believe in trying to get your value and negotiate your worth. But some things, like I'm on the board for a lot of different organizations that matter to me when it comes to education, literacy, nutrition, wellness, all of that. So I feel like when you're making money, you also have to give back. It's a responsibility that we have. And so even me working with the University of the West Indies and making sure kids get scholarship to go to school, or working with the New York Public Library and working with the kids and making sure that people are reading books, but not just reading books. There's a lot of things there, like the Teen Center, that I think can be life-changing. So when you're thinking about actually making an impact, then it's not about the money.
All right, thank you. We got Angela Yee, legendary in the media space. Jude, shout out to you for bringing this amazing event in Brooklyn, New York, the Black Money Forum. All right, thank you.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.